Hello everybody! So today I am back at home and I'm drinking some tea from this mug that says "Don't let the muggles get you down," which is perfect for today because I'm going to be talking about some life advice that I've been giving my friends in regards to positivity and productivity and doing what you love and getting your stuff together and figuring yourself out. And I've learned a lot of things being in college. Like this first semester I've learned so much. So since so many people have been asking me life questions, I figured I would just put all of my advice out there and see if it helps your situation. So I'm just sitting here with a cup of tea, having a little chat, and I guess you could say this is chatty, which is why my friends hate me. But yeah, I'm just gonna talk things out with you all for a little bit, and I hope you enjoy, and I'm just gonna drink some tea and get started. So I guess I could start off with like how I learned these things, like in the order I learned them. So we'll start with positivity because that one came around first. If you know me, I have not always been a super positive person my entire life, but something happened one Sunday with Grace, my roommate, that was just, I don't know, it kind of flipped my mentality. We'd had a pretty bad week and we just had this chill day where we like kind of slept in on Sunday. We didn't see anyone that day. Like literally either people were out of town or we just didn't go down to eat with them, but like we did not talk to anyone but each other. We just spent the entire day like hanging out and talking, and then we watched like American Horror Story season 6, and it was really fun. And like by the end of the day we both had said it's a good day like 5 times, and so we decided that like maybe this was the definition of like the start of a good week, right? So for the next week we said it's a good day anytime something good happened, and if something bad happened we were like, but you know, it's still a good day, or like it's still a great week. And we said it so much that like literally I just felt better that week. And so even to this day, like we still do that. The only time that we have not done that is like when one of us gets sick. Like when I got bronchitis, that's really hard to get the like motivation and energy to do that when you're coughing up your lungs. When everything is like going okay or even kind of like bad, just saying it's a good day actually does have a difference. And I never thought that I would have said something like that, but it did, and I'm sharing that with you because the power of positivity definitely changed my attitude about things, and things started actually going better for me. So I guess I can talk about the next one, which is doing what you love. I don't actually know if I told you all like what I'm enrolled in this semester, so I guess I'll just say it. I'm in 2 architecture classes, so I have like a 5-hour studio and a lecture, and then I'm in a film and media studies, so like the study of film aesthetics in movies, and then I'm in a photography class, which is my favorite class. I have been like doing a bunch of arts things, right? Like my first semester is probably unlike anybody else's first semester, and the only reason I was able to do that is because I got all of my stuff out of the way ahead of time in high school. I've been doing lots of creative things rather than like reading from textbooks and answering questions and stuff. So I mean, and it's all something I'm interested in, like architecture, directing, and photography. Like that is my dream. Like if I could do all of that in life, like I would be pretty content. So my schedule is like really easy, and the thing that I love the most about my photography class specifically is that it gets me doing something that I love like every single day. I have been like taking photos every week and honing my craft and doing what I love, and the only reason that I've been like actually doing that is because of my photography class. And like this, my YouTube channel is something else that I love doing, and so the reason that I've been like constantly producing is because I set my goal, which is once a week, every Saturday I'm posting a video. And so sometimes it gets rough, like today I'm filming this on Saturday, but you know, regardless, it makes sure that I'm doing something and that I'm like keeping myself creative. And so I talk to people who are having issues with their major and they're like, yeah, you know, I just don't know if it's what I want to do, or like I'm just really unhappy, I have so much school and work. And I'm like, well, regardless, you should just make sure to fit in time for what you love. So like maybe you're not as lucky as me where like your class is what you love, so you're doing what you have to and what you want to at the same time. But like maybe you just like set this, you figure out this one thing that you love doing, right? For a lot of my friends, it's making music. Like I know so many people who are in bands and have produced albums, and so for them, or like even photography, I know some kids who shoot Polaroid, and so it's like figure out what that thing is for you and then do it at least once a week, and it will change things. Like sure, you might have all these commitments that you hate and you don't want to do, and that's not going to change, but if you add that one thing in that you love doing a week, like that can change something. It really can. And so that's like my advice. And when I have free time, I'm typically watching movies. Like when I got to college, I was averaging 4 a day, and I like kind of dipped a little bit because I got busy, but I'm back up there. I finally conquered my list of 300 movies, so now I have 2 that I need to watch, and then the rest of them are like coming out this year, so I just have to wait and see them in the movie theater. I do that during my free time because I know it's what I like to do, and I'd rather sit there and do that than like sit around and do nothing. I don't know, I just feel like so many people waste their day. Do what you love even in your free time, because half the time you're like, no, I just don't have any time in the day. But if you made time in the day, you would. Just be like, one day this week I'm gonna do this, and this is the day I'm gonna do it, and this is why I'm gonna do it, and if anyone tries to make plans with me, I'm gonna be like, nah fam, I'm doing this. And that's just what you gotta do in order to do what you love, and it will also change your mood to be a little bit more positive, and sometimes it can make you change like what you think about your major, you know, like either you can figure out that it's not what you love, or you figure out that it is what you love, it was just stressing you out, and now that you've got all these other things you can do with it, you're happy again. So two benefits that can come from just doing what you love, aside from like the hundreds that probably exist. So the next thing I'll talk about is like figuring yourself out, right? And that has to play in with what I just talked about, which is deciding what you love and like making sure that you do it once a week. And so many people are just like, but I have no clue. And it's really hard when you're in college because you're like, oh my gosh, I'm choosing my life. Like I'm gonna get this degree and that's gonna be it. And it's like, that's not how the world works, 1. But 2, it's not, it's like when I say figure out what you love, I'm not saying figure out your career. I'm saying figure out your hobbies, right? Figure out, and like maybe those hobbies translate into your career, but just figure out what you like to do in your free time and then do those. Like for some people, it's napping. Just figure out what it is that you like to do and think about it. Like I do a lot of self-reflection, and I always have in my life. And so I'm an introvert, so most of the time I know exactly what's going on in my head because I have conversations with myself a lot. Whatever. I have lots of like thoughts about like, this is how I'm processing it, this isn't healthy, this is what I need to do, and I like can coach myself because I know I've had a lot of experiences that have taught me life lessons. But like some people just don't, like they're not in tune with themselves, and so sometimes you just have to have a conversation, and I have to sometimes, like I'll talk to someone and be like, whoa, like I didn't even know that that was upsetting me, but now I realize that it is, and I would have never figured it out had I not talked to you. So I would just dedicate time to think about it. I get it, like when you're upset, a lot of people's responses, I'm just not gonna think about this. Like I'm just gonna hang out with my friends, do school, keep myself busy so I don't have to think about it. But I think you're really selling yourself short if you do something like that, because I mean, you're not addressing the problem. It's still there. You're still gonna be sad, and you could like be doing what you love and still like on the inside be dead. Not dead, but like upset. I don't understand meditation, but just having moments to yourself to think about it are like good enough to think about yourself. And in my opinion, like in my world, that's how it works. Just being able to think about myself, just sitting on my bed and just being like, what is my life right now? Can really help me out. Well, finished my tea. So this last thing that I have to talk about is kind of like the biggest thing, so I have no clue how long this video is going to be. I'm just chatting, whatever. So this last thing is about productivity, and there are a few things that I've learned through college that, wowza, have changed my life. And a lot of people are going to be like, I don't want to do that. Whatever, if you don't want to do some of the things that I'm doing, then like don't, that's up to you. But they have really helped me. I'm just gonna kind of go through what I have learned in college throughout. I'm like, I do so much hand motion. I'm sure y'all have noticed this, but oh my gosh. So the first thing was that I used to have these lists. And so like I have this app on my phone called Todoist, and it's like, you can set different like categories or whatever. So like I can go into school and then I can have all my homework that I have to do. And so it helps me because I'm the type of person who will be like, I need to do this assignment, and then 5 minutes later forget that I needed to do the assignment. So like writing it is a way that I can accurately forget it. I have had so many lists and like, oh my goodness, it was insane. So I had a list of movies that I wanted to watch, which I think I mentioned earlier was like 300 movies. And I kid you not, it was 300. You can ask like Zach, because I'm working on like this project, and I just love movies. So I had like 300 movies I needed to watch. And then I had this music tab that was like all the music I wanted to like explore or like look at, right? So be like, oh, I want to check this album out by this band. But then of course it like multiplied insanely, and I had like 76 albums. It was overwhelming. I think I had like a few other personal tabs where I would just like have things I needed to do, but a lot of the time they were just really small, stupid things. My list on my phone just got wacko. Like it was just everywhere. Everything was everywhere. Things I needed to do, things I wanted to do, but I wasn't staying on top of any of it, and I just felt really overwhelmed. Like I would look at my list and be like, oh my god, like how am I ever gonna get this done? Especially because the second I would check off a movie, right, I would add 2 new movies because I saw trailers over the weekend. It was a never-ending pit of lists and checkboxes, and I love lists and checkboxes, but my gosh, it was overwhelming. So I started averaging 4 movies a day when I got to college, which I don't necessarily recommend, but like I can do because I'm the type of person who can like sit down and binge watch 2 seasons in a row. Okay, I started narrowing down my movies tab to the point where I finally conquered my list. Like right now I have the 2 movies that I need to watch, one of which I'm gonna watch right after I film this video. And then everything else is like just when it comes out in the movie theater. That was step 1, was conquering my movie list, and I've finally done it. Step 2 was conquering my music list, which I finally did literally 2 days ago because I got Spotify Premium. When I moved to college, I met so many people who had Spotify, and I was like, I mean, like, yeah, I've heard of it, but I had never used it, and I thought it was kind of like Pandora. I don't know. So I got it, and it was so nice because now if I want to check something out, I just hit shuffle that artist, and then I like experience it, and I'm like, yeah, I like it, so then I follow them. What I was doing before was inefficient and ineffective. So I got Spotify, that cleaned up my music playlist, and then for my personal list, I just sat down one day and was like, forget all of this, like I'm just gonna do it. So I took out my notebook and I completely updated my bucket list, and I wrote down my Christmas list, and I did all of that, and I like checked everything off. Like conquering my list really helped me chill the heck out when it comes to like what I need to do, and I have been a lot more productive because of that, because instead of looking at a list that's like, add this to your bucket list, add this to your bucket list, paint this, go out and shoot this, like blah blah blah, I can just look and be like, oh, I need to film a video, good. Oh, I need to like water my air plants, good. And I'm not looking at so many things that are distracting me from what I really need to do. That was such a long explanation. The second thing that I have to say about productivity is sleep. And oh my lord, what I'm about to say is like literally so life-changing. So as you know, because I've talked about it a lot in this video, I like movies and I like photography and blah blah blah. And so I used to read books when I was in middle school, but when I got to high school, I just wasn't into it. I took a few books with me to college, and I was like, I'm gonna read these. And then I realized that I hadn't been reading them. And so about 2 weeks ago, I was like going on Tumblr, and there was this quote that I read, and I was like, oh my god, like yep, nothing else needs to be said about it, so I'm just gonna tell you it. It was, don't plan your sleep around your work, plan your work around your sleep. And I was like, I cannot tell you how many times I've been like, well, guess I'm gonna be up until 1 today because I have a studio project due tomorrow. No, No, I set my schedule. I go to sleep at 9 o'clock every night. It has been so nice. Sleep is life-changing. Grace has started doing this with me, and oh my gosh, she doesn't take naps anymore. She doesn't need to. What I do in order to do this, because a lot of people are like, 9? Like, that's so early, especially when you live, you know, when you're in college. Like, of course 9 is so early because no one goes to sleep at 9, but besides Grace and I. But what I do is for one, my floor is really quiet in my dorm, so it's not as big of a deal for me. And if you have a loud dorm, maybe you should like put in headphones or like put in earbuds. What I do is I've started reading at night, and I've trained my brain that when I read is when I fall asleep. And so it's cool because like during the day I can watch movies, and then during night I can read books. And I have this rule that's like basically by 8, if I am about to start a movie, I'll say no. Watching a movie and being on technology literally like keeps you awake. I stopped looking at technology, including my phone. Like I would set my alarm by about 8:30, right? And then I would just plug it in and set it on my nightstand face down. Because I live in the mentality that's like schedule your work around your sleep, it means that I don't stay up late anymore. Like most of the time when we have projects due in studio, what happens is everyone goes in together the night before it's due, and then everyone goes home about like 5 a.m. the morning it's due, and then we come back at 8 and we present our projects, right? And like I was so sick of walking home in the dark at midnight by myself. What happens now is like this last project was one of the biggest projects we've had, and I finished it at noon the day before it was due. So I think that's all I needed to say. I hope you all have an amazing Thanksgiving, because that's going to happen between now and next Saturday. And I am probably going to comment some people down below that I would like to thank for like my YouTube channel, because they have helped me get where I am today, and I want to be thankful of that. So I'm going to put them down below, and I hope you all read about them because they're amazing people that have obviously helped me do what I'm doing in life. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope that my advice helped you out and helped you think about life differently. And I will see you all next Saturday. So, bye!